guys, and welcome to Choujin X. Eagle-eyed viewers would recognize this and think it's a re-upload, but no, it isn't. I recorded this when I first had the idea of making this series, but just like my mum thinks of me as a child compared to now, I can't stand the look of it as time went on. If you guys have watched my original video, I want to say thank you for joining me again, and I hope I can still keep you entertained. I will be using a lot of the original script, but change what I didn't like, so if I reuse the same joke, just pretend to laugh at the very least. But now to the manga. For this episode, I'm looking at Choujin X by Ishida. If you don't recognize the mangaka by name or style alone, you will definitely know his main series and magnum opus of the present, Tokyo Ghoul. If glimpses of the artwork intrigues you, go buy this at any local store you know, or any mainstream websites like Amazon. So let's get into this. When it first begins, there is a conversation between the old woman and a character we know nothing about. Eventually, she is asked what she would buy if ever given the opportunity of being rich, and it becomes relevant later. She cites about many other ideas, but the idea of a tractor is the most important. Simple but effective foreshadowing within minutes. After the foreshadowing, we get interrupted by a rushing tall man who becomes aggressive very quick. After complaining about his second-rate work, he proceeds to say that he will display what first-rate looks like. Then without warning, the whole plane is set to flames with almost laughing faces echoing back. The female character we met at the beginning is also affected by the flame with a great visual representation. It is only the great art of Ishida or other amazing mangaka like Kentaro Miura can actually display. Even in the revamp of this, I'm still glazing berserk. It then does a swift transition to our main character of our story, Tokyo Kurahara, a 16-year-old second year who shows no drive to focus on class while being distracted by, other subjects. Tokyo heads down the street and we are introduced to his friend, who is basically the cousin of Gojo Satoru, because all he does is aura farm the fuck out of this entrant. He is called upon by Tokyo as a woman is being harassed by thugs with incredibly shit haircut. After empty threats are given towards his friend that we now know as Azuma, he kicks the living shit out of this bozo's arms. Reminds me of Edson Barboza kicking Dan Hooker. If you haven't seen it already, it's the closest thing to manslaughter you can get on YouTube. Yep, get your bingo boxes checked, as Kaida Boy mentioned in MMA or UFC in a video that is completely irrelevant is almost a guarantee, just like me breaking the scale at Slimming World. After that saga transpires, we learn that Choujin is the name given to people who possess powers like the one in the first few pages. We do come to learn that there is different forms throughout the volume. Azuma asks a weird question about roly-polies, which I don't understand because who the actual fuck would, but then it changes over to the guy in cast that got kicked into the Netherrealm. This is a highlight I want to point out because the change from funny to serious to funny again keeps the content we are consuming fresh and exciting for future volumes. But despite the comedy, we meet some creepy ass dude offering his services to fix Armless Boy. Maybe he's offering him a movie cast. Yep, doesn't even sound right the second time. Further in, there is a callback to Tokyo's past, and it shows a vulture. Just keep an eye on the face shape and how the question asked by the teacher is about what resembles you most. Another showcase of foreshadowing. Can you tell I love foreshadowing by now? Azuma plays more of a big brother role to Tokyo despite people acting like Tokyo tags along because he is a lucky duo partner. Please, stop. Just stop playing Fortnite. Yes, I'm talking to you in the back with a gaming PC.
Stop it. Get some help.
Akuma shows this role by stopping Tokyo from tears by giving facts about the vulture to comfort him. You also get this inkling that you don't get the full story of Azuma, as even Tokyo addresses this by saying how far Azuma took it when he broke the guy's arms. There is also many different parts of the volume where the mangaka draws the eyes of Azuma, and it shows how different he looks from his normal defenseless image. So fast forward, the pair go and visit the plane wreckage and get ambushed by the thugs we saw at the start. They proceed to show the changes the main guy has. The guy has a neck that can lengthen, an ability to have healed from his injuries that he has sustained, and a strength that Azuma struggles with now. It's the first time we see the strongest so far spill blood, so it makes you wonder what has been given to the leader. The boss of the group has now announced proudly how the serum he was given is the real deal, and how it has changed him into a Choujin. It still gives us questions with no answers. Is the X in Choujin's title mean 10? Is Akuma some weakling now compared? And will my dad ever bring back the milk? The last question cannot be answered, but I do digress. The boss has officially gone insane. He even kills his friends in the process of admiring his own power, which is the equivalent of someone doing a pose in the mirror after injecting steroids, or even watching an episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and becoming JoJo himself. The aftermath of the hit causes Azuma for the first time in the story to accept the position he is in and pretty much resort to the final option. The final option was to take the syringe that would change him into the same way the boss of the group has. Showing the amount of desire to win, the drive of Azuma is undoubtedly further than most. Tokyo then reacts to the intense moment with a sudden call out to stop it. These words that Tokyo said moves into a flashback of Azuma handling a bully that for the dumbasses like me get a simple showing with the letters on his shirt saying BULLY. Azuma and Tokyo meet for the first time during this moment, with a clear power difference being displayed. Tokyo tells Azuma that despite not being wealthy or strong in any capacity, he wants to help in any way he can. It then moves back to the present, where Tokyo takes control of the syringe, much to the shock of Azuma. Tokyo then says he feels that if he doesn't do anything, then they won't be friends anymore. Seeing this type of friendship that even the possibility of dying or being changed forever can't waver the strength between them. Sui should have spent the volume building up this friendship and it's paying off as believable. After agreeing to no regrets, we are brought back to the bully who is hitting the meanest Naruto run ever seen since the Weeb Kid got his first Akatsuki robe. Then it hits. The transformation of Tokyo. Is it Tokyo? I still don't know. Like, maybe I'm just being a strange ass dude, but have you ever seen art so good to the point that you want to do a spinning leg drop to your cat? Well, now, you have. No cats were harmed during this video, so please, don't come after me, RSPCA. My cat is very happy, and here's a picture. If this is how I am during Choujin X, then maybe I just can't handle Berserk. Yes, the glaze be real, what can I say? That's twice in a single video. Tokyo now looks more like the vulture that was presented during the zoo visit. I now have a question about the syringe. Does it make you turn into how you view yourself? I ask this question because I guess if I'm going to look way too deep into things, maybe the bully boss guy is just another representation of how he views himself. Head higher than everyone else, even looking down on everyone else. Or maybe I'm just looking too deep into this, but if this is intentional, I guess my cat's getting another leg drop. The reveal then gets ended with a title screen, which for just the first few chapters, shit got real. I'm interested to say the very least. Eli Otter is the name of the female character at the beginning from the plane. It's backstory time. She is on a farm doing tomatoes and gets given the task to go to the fair, once again showing a clear connection from this page to the very first. We go back to the present with the girl who is being spoken to by a random NPC who is rambling about safety despite looking like Popeye. But seconds pass and he is turned into a flaming hot grill. It's the weird guy again. A chase ensues and we learn the identity of the Choujin, Chandra Hume. He is just a D1 hater and honestly has no clear motive. He's an old ass at 43 big years old as well. Like bro, get a better hobby like sitting in your room and talking to yourself to subscribers that don't even know you exist, or trying to explain that paying almost 5,000 in equipment was a good investment while earning a whopping £0. Personal feelings out of the way though. It goes into comedy when the main established reoccurring villain is racing the female protagonist while also throwing Reddit comments her way about her use of the rollerboy years. Like what the actual fuck is that name? The rollerboys get ditched by both and whilst Eli gets a convenient tractor, the villain gets a bunch of weird ass sheep people to give chase for the amazing prize of a flip phone. Yep, you heard it right. A flip phone. You know that thing that can only do like 360 pixels, but they're willing to kill a child because of that. After the epic chase down from the sheep, the creepy ass old dude in Eli, we start to see smoke coming from her fingertip. She is a Choujin after all. Or at least some form of it. The villain then shows Eli after she has dispatched a group of Beastars cosplayers that she was the cause of the plane crash as she is infected by the power of Chandra. Also, we are to believe as no other person has explained yet. The doubt of is it a trustworthy narrator would dawn on your mind. But this is where I have to segue into the first negative of the manga. They introduce a new guy that I don't know about just yet, but this happens halfway through a confusing showing of environmental destruction. The new character scares away Chandra whilst also knowing his name, so there must be a little bit of history. But holy shit. What in the Giga Chat is this? Bro's been chewing jawbreakers his entire lifespan. I damn near cut my finger trying to trace the trajectory of this jawline. We come to learn he is called Hoshi Sandek, but from now on, I'ma call him Big Chin, because fuck it, it's my video. Straight back to Tokyo now, who is basically trying to wash off his newfound look. Just like I tried to do after my niece does her best botch of a makeup job on me. This could be a symbolic meaning with the idea of washing away sins, but what do I know? I'm just a YouTuber. We then get a panel with both main characters questioning what have they become. Are they both Choujin now and how will their lives fare? To be halfway in the volume and have this many questions, it shows it's got high potential and a captivated audience. But after a good positive, I must say a negative. Should have done so many different flashbacks and time skips, but not all the time is it so obvious. I know this may be an imagination issue, but maybe like a simple 5 hours later would have done it more justice. Back on track, we see Tokyo bringing Azuma back to seemingly his house, where he wakes up after a fall from both. For the first time in this series, Azuma shows genuine fear in his eyes when Tokyo places his hand on his shoulder. I don't know how you can design that, but that's why I'm the reader and not the mangaka. Or maybe it's the fact that I can't draw for shit. Another question I've got from the manga is that both Tokyo and Azuma took a syringe each, but there is only side effects from Tokyo. I'm going to take a very big brain educated guess that it's going to show up in like volume 4. I will take back my statement about how it struggles with the time skips because after Azuma basically says that Tokyo must become a full-time YouTuber and stay at home like it's the pandemic, we see the similar look Tokyo has from the shock of the moment to his look in the shower. Tokyo has come up with the amazing plan of making a terrible lie to his school, as trying to come into school looking like that is the equivalent of me coming in when I first had my perm. If you wasn't there, which I really hope you wasn't, just picture Brazilian Ronaldo, but with curly hair. Whilst maintaining a healthy amount of midlife crisis, Tokyo stops his crying to check on Azuma. I can't blame Tokyo for crying in his bed. It gets eerily similar to how I am when I don't get my Maltesers. Tokyo then heads out whilst rambling milk and eggs to himself, which was requested by his unsuspecting family. He makes his way to Azuma's house. He is worried because Azuma never messaged back or replied to his check-ins. After a brief conversation where Azuma doesn't seem to have anything abnormal and a bit of back and forth about school, Azuma finally snaps. He then shouts, "Why don't you think for yourself for one?" Hearing that makes Tokyo accept his pathetic mentality and cites that he just wanted to be told what he has to do. I really think this is a matter of perspective. Tokyo has always been a follower, and now the person who was there to solve everything has now asked him to think instead of act. Azuma says one last point about it not being Tokyo's fault, but Tokyo was long gone. Moving on over now to where we meet the weird guy with the syringes, who is interrogating the long neck dude about where the other syringes are. He tells the guy it's 2 kids who took it, but doesn't remember much. He then cuts long neck dude like it's Cookie Mama on the DS. Back to Tokyo now. I told you, there is a shitload of skips here and switches. He is thinking about how he never really did choose for himself while going through memories of copying whatever Azuma says, or even does. For some weird reason, Tokyo can now talk to birds. Like there is domain expansion in JJK, devil fruits in One Piece, chakra and Nen in Naruto and Hunter x Hunter, but in Choujin, it's Pigeon Simulator. Fucking pigeon. Tokyo then spends 2 days trying to figure out his hidden skills and even contemplates talking to the pigeons again. Well, I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so. I was correct over the theory about becoming what you desired most. Over time, we may realize why he views himself as that because all we go off is a description in the zoo. Talking about the zoo, Tokyo goes back to visit and maybe find the answers he is looking for. We come to learn that the zoo was closed down a month ago. On the plus side, a random girl is there, so I guess that's a positive for Tokyo, but I don't know if on her Tinder, she was looking for a bird-looking dude. But despite her looking good to Tokyo, the snake thought the same thing. The snake nearly bites a chunk out of him as the girl blindsides Tokyo and almost kills him. I don't know if this is that weird bully love angle, but this isn't something I am an expert in. For some reason though, the simp level of Tokyo overpowers him and he thinks it's a good thing. He then talks to Tokyo in a very misleading way, causing him to overthink every reply and maneuver. Simp behavior by far. It all changes, however, when just after his dreams of getting a response or answers from the vulture, Tokyo is ambushed by the woman, turning into a snake. I guess love can be poisonous. A fight ensues after learning she only cared about the fees when tasked by the mass villain, and Tokyo does what he does best, and he runs away. Even during this intense moment, I still can't escape this godforsaken brain rot. Fail after fail after fail for Tokyo leads him to the endless goose chase between the prey and the predator. All hope is lost and Tokyo shouts for help one last time. A flying smoke angel comes crashing down right next to him. His prayers have been answered because it's Eli. 2 unlikely heroes meet at last. Eli grabs the dead weight named Tokyo and blasts off with the smoke power beneath her feet. They travel far and wide but still make no real distance from the snake Choujin. Eli seems to have mastered a power of this, so maybe she has had prior practice, which could come handy for Tokyo. Eli proves to be the decider in the stalemate between her and the Choujin, but all the damage she does just seems to piss off the enemy. Full beastification. Narrator White Snake Choujin has fully transformed and entered the chat. The protagonist seemed cooked. Eli, which you can just label as a useful one, gets dealt with in quick fashion with multiple damaging blows, leaving her incapacitated. After much contemplation on his next move and how Azuma would have dealt with it, Eli makes Tokyo's mind up for him and says, run. Instead of doing this, however, Tokyo gives it the final chance at being the hero. He yells, full beastification. The volume then ends there. Wow. What can I say except what I've already been saying? This manga was a shock to me as I remember reading this a while back and honestly giving it a bit of a small shrug of the shoulders and moving on. It's been maybe a year or so since I read this, but this was like a whole new world for me to re-explore. Being able to see this manga for a broader context in this video has made me appreciate it on a whole new level. So here's my final opinion. Does this manga make me want to carry on? If it isn't obvious by now, I'd say a definitive yes. All the questions I've compiled has made me wonder what happens next at every flick of the page. I'm most intrigued about the transformation of Tokyo, and if there even is one. It could all be a fake out or a glory moment. This volume did everything it needed to for me. Introduce a world and a bunch of characters with all forms of trials and tribulations to face and all different forms of motives. The art is incredible and it's a manga I would definitely look out for. So I'll end the video here. Thank you for coming on this journey with me, and I hope to do a whole lot more. This is the most amount of effort I put into a video, and although it may be once in a month type of styled video, I still hope it achieves the purpose of variety. Maybe you are new to this form of media, or just came to support, or even re-watch this video. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.